BTP, Big Business Technology for Small Business.
Good morning, welcome to BTP. Michael Jenkin here. Today I'm trying to use a lapel mic, so hopefully this sounds a little bit better. Now today, in the interest of obviously waking up this morning and seeing that the Notre Dame in Paris is on fire and all that history is lost, one would hope they've got off-site backups. Got me thinking, what's BTP all about with backups? Well, a lot of us will say that we don't recommend cloud backups, and that's not necessarily true. We do recommend cloud backups, but what we do is we try and find the right backup solution for the right person. A lot of companies in South Australia, we just have ADSL. We don't have NBN yet, we don't have fibre. Some of us are running on 1 megabit. Now, cloud backups, it's not going to work. It's physics. It's not going to happen. But we are open to cloud backups. So let's talk about cloud backups because they come into kind of three categories. There's the backup of the, oh my goodness, it's important files, which is your accounting and things like that. And that's all it backs up. And then there's the whole of server backup. And that whole of server backup, there's two categories. There's the one which uploads just to the cloud, and there's the one that goes to a unit in your office first and then to the cloud. So they're your three main categories. There's some subsets of that. Now, where the problems are. If you're backing up just your files, just your Word, Excel, maybe MyOb files, and you're not backing up the entire server, just remember how long it took to put that server in and configure it. Some servers, we're talking 100 hours, adding users, adding printers, setting it all up, making it all work, talk to your workstations, setting up the internet, making it all happen properly and configuring it. There's hundreds of man hours there. And if you remember back when that was originally done, you probably had to send staff home. They probably couldn't do it, or had to be done on a weekend. Now, ideally, a backup should put all that back. Ideally, you should get everything back. Don't care if it's a temp file in the temp directory or if it's a recycle bin file. Don't care. Put the whole lot back. So if you're going to do a cloud backup, unless you're a home user using Dropbox or something like that, I wouldn't do just a file-based backup. It's not good enough. You need to put your entire system back the way it was. In the case, obviously, of a catastrophe, you want to be able to go, I want that file back, yes, or I've got versioning, so I want from 10 backups ago, I want that file back, yes, or I want the entire server back as it was running at that time. And that's the backup I prefer you have, and that falls in the other two categories. Now, in these two categories, there's two types of backups. There's one that goes to a local unit, and there's one that goes direct to the cloud. Given the rise in crypto ransomwares, and knowing that some of them are VMware and other backup facilities aware, and they've been able to jump on the agents and go up to the cloud and encrypt what's in the cloud as well, not a big fan of the backups going straight to the cloud. The other problem we've also seen is that it takes a long time to get that initial backup into the cloud, and then to do a snap of what's changed and send that up, that sometimes on the slower internet, it can take days and days and days to get a valid backup. But it hasn't backed up the recent stuff. It's just been backing up what was from days ago. It just took that long to get it in the cloud. So that's why we're a bit of a fan of the third option, which is where you have an on-site device doing the backup, and then it copies that up to the cloud. So you've got a copy on-site and on the cloud. Now, let's just say your office burns down. Don't wish it on you, but let's say it happens. And you lose your server and you lose your backup device, and all you've got was what left in the cloud. Are you going to sit there and wait 4 or 5 days for it to download from the cloud? Don't forget, a server backup could be terabytes big. It could be huge, and you could be on ADSL or NBN, slow NBN, whatever you're on. So can you really sit there and wait all that time? You can get a temporary server up and running pretty quick if you've got a valid backup. So the backup that we like goes to a local device. It goes to a device also in your hand, a USB backup that you can take with you daily, and to the cloud. There's a backup that covers all three bases. Now, with the one with the device, what normally happens is it does a snapshot of the entire server to the device. We then copy an entire one image off onto a USB drive and send that via Australia Post or wherever we're going to use, probably Secure Post, across to the data center, where they copy that up to the actual servers doing the backups. That's called a seed backup. And the reason for the seed is so that that initial multi-terabyte backup gets copied up into the cloud, but not over your internet connection. It gets copied physically from the drive. Then all that happens is small delta backups, little backups of what's changed since the last time you did that seed, gets copied up to the cloud. So your first backup might be many terabytes, your second backup might be a couple of 100 meg, which yes, can go up over ADSL, or yes, can go up over fiber or NBN or something like that. Then what you do is you refresh that seed every 6 to 8 months, and you've got yourself a good backup in the cloud, a good backup locally, and offsite it to a USB drive, and you've got a good backup there. Now, the reason for the USB drive. If you were to copy back a backup from a USB drive, it's typically about an hour per 100 gig. If you were to try and recover across the internet, you're probably talking a couple of hours, if not 4 or 5 hours per 100 gig. So coming off USB drive is a lot faster. Obviously off the NAS or the local storage device, it's even faster again. I've seen an entire server recovered from a local backup device in around about 4 minutes, which is a lot faster. It uses the network, it uses some fancy stuff, but it can be done. So when it comes to backups, what's the best? Well, the best is the right backup for you. I would never suggest backing up just key files. I would back up the entire server. Is cloud backup the right way to go? Again, depends on you, depends on your ADSL, broadband, what you've got. Or is image backup the way to go? Well, as long as you've got rotating images, as long as one at any time is unplugged and not on the network, then you're safe from things like ransomware and things like that. So talk to us about your backup strategy. Let's have a chat too. Let's make sure you're doing best practice, or let's make sure if it's not best practice, it's best for your practice. It's best for your connections and your environment. Right, well that's today's little nugget, and I hope this microphone worked, or else I've been talking to myself. See you later.